Shout out to all of you who are still here. Today, we got a response from an individual who, well, the title says it all. He was treated the worst by the sisterhood, and we're not going to go in on the sisterhood because apparently this guy will do it for us.
How do I honestly feel about black women? First, I'm going to talk about my childhood and how I viewed black girls. As a little boy, I was never attracted to black girls. And I'd say the reason for this is because I saw white as a beauty standard. Turn on TV, white girls. Go outside, white girls. Go in school, the ones I found attractive, white girls. Why didn't I like black girls as a child? Well, I just saw them more as like closer to family. They're like closer to like me, and that's not who I'm supposed to be attracted to. Looking back subconsciously, that's how I saw it as a kid, but I wouldn't be able to put it into words when I was that age. That's just how it was. When I would have interaction with the black girls, a lot of times they were often rude, mean, sassy, but since I wasn't really trying to get them, I was just kind of like, well, whatever, I guess that's how they are. At that age, it didn't really matter to me at all. I didn't find any black girl attractive until I was about 12, so middle school age. The only reason that this happened was
balls
because
dropped.
I started to become pro-black. And when you're pro-black, you know only black men can be with black women and black love, that type of thing. So I was like, okay, so now I have to be with a black girl. So now we're going to get into the dating side of things. I'm not going to go down a whole list of bad experiences. I'm just going to summarize it by saying that I never got anywhere with any black girl. Most I got was like a date with one person or one little thing with one person. And when I'm going through this, I'm thinking to myself, how am I not attracting any black girls when I'm pro-black? I call them queens, I see them as great, and I want them to build and, black love. Why is this not attracting any of them? This is the point where my frustration started to come in, because I'm not just seeing it as I'm just trying to get some black girls. I'm viewing it as we need to come and build together, but none of them are wanting to do that with me. Around the age of 19, I just completely dropped this because it's not getting me anywhere. From then to the present, whenever I try to do anything with a black girl, I'm just like, this is probably not going to go anywhere, and I don't really like pursue it, or I half-ass it, and it goes nowhere. It's kind of like we just weren't meant to be. If I never became pro-black, I wouldn't like them at any point in my life, most likely. If I'm being completely honest though, there are black women I'm attracted to, like literally right now, as of the time of making this video.
Oh.
But when I try to pursue it, like even slightly, it's kind of like this wasn't meant to happen. I just explained my whole backstory with black women. So now, how do I view them in the present? Well, I'll just say not very positively. So how do I view them just as people? Well, my experience now versus as a kid, a lot of times they're still rude and just terrible people to interact with. I mean, that's just what I'm used to experiencing with them on all different levels. Like, no amount of pro-blackness or trying to see their humanity is going to change that. It's just my experience. It is what it is. This video I'm doing is not even an anti-black woman video. This is just my experience with them. It's a negative experience, but it's my experience. I know there's black men out there that have plenty of great experiences with black women on different levels, and good for them. I just can't relate to that. If I had good experiences with them, I could view them as good people that I have a high respect for, but unfortunately, it's the exact opposite.
All right, so shout out to him, and I'm sorry that he had to go through all of this. Well, for starters, let's analyze this. First of all, your tone comes off as one that a lot of sister girls, now I'm not saying all black women, but sister girls, especially of your age, my age even, and people who are older, are not attracted to it. It doesn't make them right or wrong. It's just what time it is. You did say, this dude did say that his preference was white girls. So I'm not sure if they sensed it. I'm not sure if you subconsciously gave that aura out, but let's just be honest. Your aura definitely speaks of one who sister girls aren't going to like. One, you speak too properly. Two, you're too clean cut. Three, your interests, I can tell alone from that Iron Maiden shirt, are not going to get any sort of traction from the sister girls. I mean, why are you wearing an Iron Maiden shirt instead of, name the rappers of today, I don't know, NBA Youngboy or whoever. Whatever these chicks want. You should be conforming to, why do you, all that hair you have, I get it. You became pro-black when your balls dropped. Let's just say this. You became pro-black the second your balls dropped when you were 12. How ironic. But here's the thing: with all that hair you have, why did you not make that hair into braids or dreads? You don't realize it. Do you not realize that dreadlocks and dreadheads are the thing these days? And also, you are too muscular. A lot of these sister girls love skinny guys. Love skinny guys with swag. And also, as I said, the ditching. You speak too much proper ditching like in this video. This is the reason why I only have 4,000 something subs and 40,000 something subs. I don't say I'ma and we be and you is and they is like we just came out of slavery. Or I don't speak yo son, yo bitch, yo shiz. I'm taking shiz. I'm not like I just came out of a rap video about new robbery. You do not come off as that, and that's the main reason why a lot of these sister girls, not all, but a lot of these sister girls are not into dudes like you. It's just. But here's why to go into defense. To be fair, I was gonna say that, hey guy, do not harbor this much hatred for black women. Do not harbor this much hatred. And that is the only criticism I would say. But it seems like this guy doesn't even have that much smoke for sister girls. Honestly, he's just speaking his truth. Well, a lot of people in the community love to say, I'm speaking my truth when they're talking a bunch of bull. But this guy, at worst, it's just doing the same thing, speaking his truth. And to be honest, yeah, he's just saying what time it is. I would like to know his experiences with white women, since he admittedly holds them up to a higher level, holds them up to a pedestal. But yeah, we actually got a bit more content with this guy, and apparently this might explain a lot on why he thinks the way he does.
I'm somebody who has experienced being somewhat of an outcast by my community. And my experience is a bit unique. It's not the same as what people are used to hearing, like, oh, they just never got along with the blacks and they became whitewashed. Mine's a lot more different. As a little kid growing up, I was always around a lot of white kids. But I still never had the problem of making black friends, because I just wanted to make friends with whoever I could make friends with. And I always had a black homie somewhere in my life. For me, I never had the experience of never having a black friend. But when I'm around high school age, this is around the time where I still have a very pro-black mindset, and I've been into it for some years now. And when I would make friends with people, I always had the thought of like putting them on the game and talking about history and empowerment and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't realize that that was going to have more black people hate you than actually like you, especially when you're at that young age. Other black kids were calling me racist and crazy for just being for my people. And of course, these people would later on put BLM in their bios, and they would act like they always loved being black. But I was the crazy one in high school. And as I keep getting older, I started having this realization of how black America really operates, and it was never something that I wanted to fit into. And it's basically a stereotype. I didn't have any interest in being the stereotypical black male into hip-hop culture and all of that shit. So that alone is not going to attract a lot of black people. And if you follow my page, you know I'm into metal, things that are considered white. So another thing that doesn't attract a lot of black people. I'm basically just saying I don't fit into mainstream black community or society. That does make me somewhat of an outcast by my community. But going through that, how did I not develop self-hate or become a COON? The reason for that is, one, I was always able to make a black friend somewhere, and now I can find ones who are on the same page as me. And second is I always had some sort of racial pride from a young age. And three, I don't like the state of modern black America. That's not something I even aspire to ever fit into. I'm already cool with being black. I know my own history, and I know other people who are like this as well. I have no reason to want to fit into that. Like, you don't have to aspire to fit into the mainstream black ghetto culture. You can find other avenues where you fit in just well. It's still a bit unique to me because I was taught to embrace who I was and enjoy being black. And I went on to learn my own history and enjoy being black even more. And there's a lot of people that weren't raised with that. That's where the real problem is. They're not being raised with any racial pride. They're going out to the world that hates black people, and that's how they see their own people and themselves. They have no desire to learning black history. To them, being black is going to be horrible no matter what. Subconsciously, they seeing a black outcast, being outcasted by the black community, as a good thing. This is why it's important to educate your kids and get them in touch with their people and tap into their history, or that's going to be the outcome for a lot of future black children, especially those that aren't raised in ghetto culture.
So this guy, with this title, just vindicated himself as far as I'm concerned. Even with the last video where he didn't really go in on sister girls, I may have said a bit more stuff. But yeah, nonetheless, this guy is currently pro-black. Currently pro-black, not was pro-black. Remember, he became pro-black when he got into puberty, and we all know why. And you cannot blame them. The way some black women are built. Now, not a lot these days, unfortunately, but this is not the 90s, this is not the 80s, this is not Soul Train. But the way some of these black women are built, I mean, you can't blame them. But to be honest, a lot of them, the ones who are actually built with some substance, real substance, not the cellulite substance, they either go for certain kind of guys or they go for Mrs. Brad. They go for Brad and Chat and them, and we all know how that goes. But this guy said that even though he did not have a lot of sister girls attracted to him, he still had black homies. He still had black men's in them. And not that kind of... And when I say men's in them, I basically just mean homie. That's his way to say friends or whatnot. But yeah, he was able to still have black friends, along with white friends, even though he grew up in a predominantly white area, and had white interests. He still was able to maintain at least a sense of pro-blackness, dignity, and pride. What he didn't say, or what he did say, or what he couldn't stand, and the reason why he was rejected by the so-called black community, is because he didn't fit into the stereotype. And let's be honest, a lot of the community, and that's why I say community instead of community, is because a lot of them have conformed to this hood culture. And they believe that this hood culture, they cling on to this hood culture. They cling on the hood culture like it's going outside. They cling on the hood culture as if it is the thing that's keeping them alive. And in some cases, it is. If not literally, then it's what's keeping their social life alive. It's what's keeping their sex life alive. Because let's be honest, this hood culture has had a lot of black Americans in prison in the mind. This guy has woken up to realize that. This guy is truly woke. It's this way. This guy is truly woke. Not in the woke sense that you have the leftists say, I'm woke because I let certain people go to certain bathrooms, and I'm woke because I defend certain people who broke the law for they can come here regardless, even though they didn't go through all the procedure, even though we have plenty of other people who follow the procedures and are now Americans, have visas, and have permanent residencies. No. This guy is truly woke in that sense. So I got to give him credit where credit is due. And he, despite all the rejections he received from the community because he did not sag his pants, he did not speak like he just came out of a rap video. He's speaking as if he is a triple-digit IQ dude. He has interests that doesn't align with the community. And shout out to this channel. You know what? I'm a Ston 44. I'm going to see what he's about. The one thing I'm going to criticize him on is this. Every other video with your shirt off, man. We get it. We get it. You're ripped. Your jawline, dude. You have body game. I'm not going to hate that. And you can shoot an arrow, which is going to be really interesting and really useful come, let's just say, come future years. If this country is headed where I think it's headed, that arrow, bow and arrow skill, it's going to be useful enough that you're going to get any woman of any race. Let's just say that. Even the sister girls. Now, I'm sure you, like me, since like minds think alike, you're probably going to have the taste of thin sister girls. Thin sister girls who have tight bodies, all right? I get it. But even then, even the ones who were into Brad, when they realize that your typical Brad does not have any skill outside of, just nepotism at best, and at worst, cooking brothers like you, or because of what Dr. CK said, or what the next CK said, they're going to realize that dudes like you are going to be rare. But that's if you aren't already with a Becky. This guy's gonna, when the time comes, when SHTF occurs, and when this guy is already with a Becky, or Selenia, or Soo Young, the sister girls are going to realize that they have betted on the wrong horse. By then, it'll be too late. So what I say to this dude is, please put your shirt on. I mean, the tank top was cool enough. The tank top's fine. And you don't see me take my shirt off. I mean, look, I can go. Never mind, I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, there's that. But seriously, keep doing what you're doing. And what I would say is don't hold a grudge against the sister girls who rejected you or the community at large. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep getting skills. Keep improving. Keep up body game. And keep winning. And I take that for anyone who is in this dude's position. But it seems like this guy, for the most part, seems to have his head on his shoulders. He's talking about Passport Bros. Alright, shout out to him. Shout out Passport Bros. And yeah, a couple others up. So go ahead and check out his channel. Everyone else out there, always bet on X.